Utah authorities continue to investigate the disappearance of 28-year-old mom of two, Susan Powell, who allegedly vanished from her own home Sunday night. Susan's husband, Joshua Powell, says he decided Sunday evening to take the couple's two young sons on a late-night camping trip, something he says they do frequently. Powell's sister, not hearing from the family for almost 2 days, calls to report the whole family missing. The father returns with the two boys later Monday afternoon, but Susan is nowhere to be found.
Do you have any idea what happened to her?
No. I mean, she's somewhere.
I know there was quite a huge effort out in the West Desert looking for any sign of her. Is that where you were camping?
Yeah, I just have to go get my boys. Thank you.
The 28-year-old Powell simply disappeared from her home, leaving her cell phone and car behind.
While there are reports the couple was in marriage counseling, family and friends say Susan would never leave her children. Police executed a search warrant on the home Wednesday and say they're conducting forensic testing on items taken during the alleged search.
Out to Jim Kirkwood with KTKK News Radio, joining us from Salt Lake City, Utah. Jim, there are some very unusual circumstances, to say it euphemistically, surrounding this woman's disappearance.
This is heartbreaking and very suspicious, Nancy. Very. The Susan Powell disappeared. Apparently she went to bed Sunday night. The next thing we know, she's not to work Monday morning. At around midnight, Josh Powell is taking the two boys, age 2 and 4, off to the West Desert. Now, this time of year...
Wait. What time?
Around midnight, Sunday night. Yes.
Midnight.
Midnight. 2 and a 4-year-old.
And a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old at
yes.
midnight?
And
wait a minute, Mr. Kirkwood, with me, Jim Kirkwood. We're showing you footage from the scene. I believe I see snow.
It's really cold.
So why is he taking them out at midnight, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, in the snow?
That area is really wild, and it had to be that night near 0 or below. I mean, it's unbelievable, Nancy.
So he takes them out, Jim Kirkwood, for what?
Supposedly to test out a new generator and to make s'mores. That's the story.
You know what, Mr. Kirkwood? You have an excellent reputation, and I admire that you said that with a straight face.
Yes.
Because you know what? It's almost laughable. But the fact is, this woman is gone. She's gone, the mother of these two children. And having two children myself, of course, somebody else could come in and change their diapers or make sure they got to play school. But it's not the same as a mother. And for him to say he took a 2-year-old out at midnight in the snow
yes.
to test out a generator?
Yes.
What happened then, Mr. Kirkwood?
Well, then he is on a new job, had been out of work for a while. He does not show up or call into work on Monday morning. She does not show up or call into work Monday morning. He returns Monday afternoon with the children on a new job, and no one does that, Nancy. I mean, with the financial...
What was his excuse, Mr. Kirkwood?
He didn't have one. He just was out there with the kids.
Well, you know what I was told from a different source to Rupa Mikulaneni, our producer on the story, is that he said he got the days confused and he didn't realize it was Monday.
Yeah, right. Except they go to a church here at the LDS Ward House, and they were to church on Sunday. He knew very well it was Sunday.
Latter-day Saints?
Yes.
What about it, Rupa? What more can you tell me?
That's right, Nancy. What we know is that he's somebody, according to the family, according to Susan Powell's father, who knows Joshua Powell quite well, he's somebody that typically time runs away with him. He doesn't keep track of time. He would say he has an appointment at 10 a.m.
Rupa, please stop. Did he get to church on time the day before?
I believe he did, Nancy.
Okay. Continue.
So he is the kind of person that apparently will say he'll show up somewhere at 10 and will show up at 2 instead. So.
To Shelby Gifford, family friend and spokesperson joining us tonight from Seattle. Ms. Gifford, thank you for being with us. What are police saying right now?
Well, when I talked with them this morning, they are continuing to investigate leads. They're being very, very, very thorough. We're appreciative as a family of their efforts. They're doing a great job of keeping in touch with us and letting us know. We're, 16 hours, 17 hours away by car, and hard to get a feel for what's going on down there exactly. But at this point, they're not calling Josh a suspect or a person of interest.
Shelby Gifford is a family friend. What can you tell me about her, about Susan Powell? She's just 28 years old.
Susan is a fabulous person and an exceptional mother. You know, there are good moms out there all over the place, but Susan is exceptional, and those boys are her life. And we believe as a family that if she is separated from them right now like she is, it's because somebody else has control of the situation. There's no way that she would stay away from them.
Shelby, when you say that she was such a great mother, give me an example. What do you mean by that?
You just couldn't separate her life from her kids' life. When she was happy, it was because of something that her kids did or were doing. She just was she's just a good mom and a good, a great lady. And we miss her, and we want to know where she is. Some moms are great moms. Susan is exceptional.
To Mark Class, president and founder of Class Kids Foundation, his expertise, missing people. Mark, give us your advice.
Well, I think that they have to focus in on the husband here. This situation has more red flags than a Chinese New Year parade, and I think that Shelby perfectly contained it when she said that if she's not with her children, somebody else is in control of the situation. Given the odd behavior of this man and the fact that there's no signs of a break-in, and in fact that her purse and her cell phone are still at home, point directly at the husband and absolutely nobody else.
You know, Mark, when I leave for work to come here, I hate being away from the twins.
Sure.
I just can't imagine being taken away, separated, possibly forever from them, and not being there to raise them as the very best that I can. Mark, what jumps out at you about this story? And let me reiterate, Joshua Powell is not a suspect. He's not a person of interest. He has not been named either of those by police. Go ahead, Mark Class.
Well, the thing that jumps out at me is his behavior. This whole idea of leaving in the middle of a Sunday night when it's cold and freezing outside to go camping and to make s'mores with two very young children makes no sense on any level. I've never heard of anybody doing anything close to that. And the whole idea that this is an exceptional woman that loves her children more than anything else in the world and would never want to be separated, yet she is separated and nobody has heard or seen anything. There's a huge period of time here that needs to be dealt with, and it's the time from he left to the time that he got back Monday afternoon.
Let's go to the expert, Mike Brooks, former Fed with the FBI, joining us. Mike, what do you think?
Nancy, this isn't adding up. First of all, let's try to put together a timeline here. I mean, where was this guy? Has he done this before with his two boys? Who goes out in this weather in Utah, Nancy, with two children, 2 and 4, in conditions like we're seeing here? It's ridiculous. It's not adding up. Where does he have a cell phone? You know, this whole thing about you know, he loses his time. You know, does he have a watch? Does he have a cell phone? They have clocks on them, and his cell phone can also be traced. So I'd be anxious to see what he was doing before, during, and then after.
Well, Unleash the Lawyers and back with Mike Brooks when we get back. But as we go to break, thoughts and prayers to the family of Jacqueline Slayton. She passed away at 84. In 1954, she started the Georgia Marine Boat Company.